Welcome to Orlando, Florida, and welcome to Tuesday night NXT. We are coming off of a phenomenal two-night event of SummerSlam, a phenomenal Monday Night Raw, hoping to keep that coming with a phenomenal NXT. We have TNA World Champion Joe Hendry starting us off tonight. Let's hear him out. Look, very short and simple. We know Saturday night's Carnage will come around. AAA superstars are coming. That doesn't mean you guys can forget about us TNA superstars. Every single one of us wants to see if NXT truly have what they got. So we will put our titles on the line over the next couple of weeks. So Joe Hendry announcing that he, alongside all of the other TNA champions, want to see what NXT is about, and over the course of the next couple of weeks, those titles from TNA will be put on the line. He talked about AAA superstars. Here we have the AAA Reina de Reinas champion. If I'm correct, that is the equivalent of a women's world champion, a women's WWE champion over in AAA. Fabi Apache is the woman who holds that title. And here tonight, she is going to look to get a taste of not only WWE, but get a taste of NXT. We have already been able to see the likes of Los Payasos Locos, El Hijo del Vikingo. Now here tonight, we will be able to see Fabi Apache as her opponent. Representing Fatal Influence is going to be Jasmine Nix, accompanied by JC Jane and Fallon Henley. Jasmine Nix, what a big match for her. Not only opening up NXT, but facing the AAA Reina de Reinas champion. Surely a victory over Fabi Apache here tonight would secure herself a title opportunity. But first, she has to focus with one thing at a time, and that is beating Fabi Apache in the first place. Fabi Apache is an experienced wrestler. She has had her time in AAA and many other promotions. Fabi Apache is not a woman you want to mess with. However, Jasmine Nix able to start off early, being able to do some big damage onto Fabi Apache. Not for long though, as Fabi Apache now grabs Jasmine Nix, picks her up in an knee straight to the stomach, dropping her down. Fabi Apache, I've been saying she is no, easy task. This is currently her fourth title reign with the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. She has been a four-time AAA World Mixed Tag Team Champion. She has also held AAA World Trios Championship. Just to name some of the titles that this woman has held. Basically, the equivalent of a four-time world champion, Fabi Apache. Close to the likes of Alexa Bliss, who I believe right now is at 6. Rhea Ripley, I'm not sure what she's sitting at, but beyond that, Fabi Apache, not an easy task, but at the moment, Jasmine Nix able to do a very good job of shutting down Fabi Apache, at least for our bets. Maybe the announcers cursed as soon as they started praising Jasmine Nix. It was Fabi Apache who was able to get the slight advantage and start getting on the attack. However, Jasmine Nix, big opportunity for her. She does not want to waste this. This could be an opportunity to bring back gold to Fatal Influence. As Jasmine Nix is fighting hard, Fabi Apache using her experience to come out on top right there. Now looking to do some damage there. However, instead it is Jasmine Nix switching things up. A very technical match so far. Very good job from Jasmine Nix to be able to keep up with someone like Fabi Apache. Maybe it's not about Jasmine Nix being good enough. Maybe tonight it's about if she's ready enough, and at the moment she is showing that she truly is. As a big double axe handler, she's now going to look for the pinfall over Fabi Apache. One. Only one, as Fabi Apache quickly kicking out, not allowing Jasmine Nix to have the satisfaction of hearing a 2 count. Fabi Apache now looking to fly in a big fist to the face of Jasmine Nix. Oh no, not the pretty face. Not the face is what the fans are chanting once again. As now Fabi Apache may put this match to end. Unfortunately, Jasmine Nix able to kick out at 2. However, Fabi Apache does not seem to be finished. She wants to put an end to this match once and for all, and she may be able to do it. There is a big knee to the face of Jasmine Nix. However, the referee is distracted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it keeps on going, but Jasmine Nix not able to get up either way, and even with the help of Fatal Influence, that knee to the face completely knocked out Jasmine Nix cold. In Fabi Apache with a huge victory here tonight, showing and proving to this WWE Universe, who probably the first time seeing her, proving to them why she is a AAA Reina de Reinas champion. Big match for Jasmine Nix. She did phenomenal. She has shown that she is just not ready to hang out with the big dogs, at least not yet. We keep moving forward though, as next up we have a #1 contenders match for the NXT Tag Team titles. Up first, Double Trouble, Josh Briggs and Inamura. We also have, representing the family, Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. However, that's not it, because you know what's better than 2 tag teams? 3 tag teams. That third team is no other than, y'all can hurry it up, please and thank you. We want to see the third team. I was trying to make it this big thing, but the third team, representing the Cooling, we are gonna go ahead and have Nico Vance and Brooks Jensen. 3 tag teams, all fighting for the #1 contendership, all fighting for an opportunity at the NXT Tag Team Championships. See, the current champions, Hank and Tank, are tired of the back and forth between the Hardys, between Darkstay. They said, hey, we are going to pick who we want to be in this #1 contenders match. They have picked these 3 teams, trying to switch it up and stay away from the Hardys and Darkstay, at least for this one, because they still got their own problems that they got to sort out before they can win a championship. And that's how we ended up coming with this fantastic match. It is bound to be a good one. All men are going to be allowed inside the ring, which is about to create some hectic, crazy moments. But that is what we're here for. Big match. #1 contenders match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. As Tony D'Angelo looking for the pinfall. Josh Briggs able to quickly break that up now. Once again, I set this reminder every single time whenever there's multiple superstars inside of the ring. Please excuse me for any mumbling, stuttering, missing anything big. My eyes cannot be all over the place. I'm going to try my best, but it is difficult. I'm only human. As Inamura looking for the pinfall, kick out at 1. Nevertheless, Nico Vance was right there to break the count if Channing Stacks Lorenzo hadn't kicked out. Josh Briggs now trying to get a big kick onto Tony D'Angelo. Not able to get it done. we do have some big news. As we just finished up SummerSlam, PLE for the main roster. Well, coming up this weekend, we have a nice little PLE for NXT. So make sure you guys are tuned in and ready, as this weekend you will go ahead and host NXT No Mercy. The main roster has had their ginormous two-night event, SummerSlam. It is now time for us down here at NXT to have a party of our own. That's to come later this weekend, but for now, we continue putting our eyes and our attention on this match as Tony D'Angelo with a big hit, almost like a suplex onto Brooks Jensen. However, not able to do anything off of that. Inamura was quickly there to damage Tony D. Channing Stex Lorenzo, beating the crap out of Nico Vance outside of the ring. And a pinfall from Inamura. However, pinfall is broken by Tony D'Angelo nice and quickly. Channing Stex Lorenzo hurting the eye of Inamura. Big drop kick. Channing Stex Lorenzo looking phenomenal in this match. He's already had some good opportunities with tag team alongside Tony D'Angelo where they won. He had a tag team match against, I believe it was Dark State, alongside Luca Crucifino, the NXT Heritage Champion, where they lost. So, as far as I know, in the recent matches, when it comes to teaming up with Tony D'Angelo, they don't lose. Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stex Lorenzo don't lose, but when it's this hectic of a match where there's bodies laying down everywhere, and even with them laying down everywhere, you still can't get a pinfall, it is gonna be hard to predict an outcome and a winner in this match. As Tony D'Angelo looking for the pinfall, he gets the two, but a kick out from Inamura. Channing Stex Lorenzo doing big damage there, as well as Josh Briggs and Nico Vance. Big damage done right there. Got a little bit of a reunion between Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen, former tag teammates, until Brooks Jensen left Josh Briggs alone and decided to join the Culling. However, I do believe that was a blessing in disguise, as afterwards Josh Briggs was able to now team up with Inamura, allowing him to gain not only a tag team partner, but a freaking brother, man. Those two guys are incredible together. Inamura looking to do some big damage there. He climbs the middle rope, dropping down Nico Vance. And now Inamura may be able to pull off a pinfall. However, he is not done. Big right fist to the face of, I believe that is Nico Vance. It may be, yes. I believe it is Nico Vance, as he is now looking for the pinfall. However, Stex Lorenzo breaking that count before it can lead to anything dangerous. Big damage done. As I've been saying, Lorenzo has been on fire this match. He has taken some damage, but he has been doing phenomenal for himself and for his team. It is Tony D and Channing Stex Lorenzo standing, doing damage to absolutely everybody. And at the moment, they are looking like the clear favorites to take this match, take this victory, and become the new #1 contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships. As big damage done to Inamura. Josh Briggs trying to interrupt the attack of Tony D'Angelo. However, Tony D able to send Josh Briggs flying. Now Brooks Jensen trying to get some damage on Inamura, trying to take and steal the victory. However, Tony D for the pinfall, and he's almost able to get three. However, at the very last seconds, Nico Vance is able to break the count. Tony D'Angelo had almost secured that #1 contenders name next to his and Lorenzo. However, The count was broken, and this match continues. A hectic match. As I said, I mean, when you have this many people, you could have almost all of them on the floor, and you still wouldn't find enough time or space to look for the 3 count. It is almost impossible. Big knee drop by Channing Sex Lorenzo looking for the pinfall. However, the count is broken nice and quickly. Channing Sex Lorenzo now attacking Nico Vance almost like a FU. You broke up my pinfall. Now it's time to break you. Josh Briggs with a huge clothesline. He's now looking for the pinfall, and it is broken up by his former tag team partner, now rival, in a big boot by Josh Briggs, now landing onto Channing Sex Lorenzo. Tony D is right there, ready to defend his boy. And now Tony D'Angelo may be able to pull off something big as a big hit to Josh Briggs. Now an opportunity to do some damage onto Inamura. Pinfall 1, 2, and almost 3. I believe Josh Briggs was able to kick out right there. Nico Vance did try to break the count, but I believe it was Josh Briggs who was able to kick out before the count was broken. However, neither Tony D nor Channing Sex Lorenzo or finished Tony D looking for the pinfall once more. But yet again, it is broken up as Josh Briggs now is sent over the top ropes in a pinfall, broken up by Inamura nice and quickly. Now Tony D grabs Nico Vance, sends him into the corner. Inamura taking advantage of this. He's now going to look for the pinfall. 1, 2, kick out at 1 by Nico Vance, and now Nico Vance rolls outside of the ring. Inamura sent into the turnbuckle. Josh Briggs with a big punch onto Channing Sex Lorenzo. Now it is going to be Tony D'Angelo with a show of strength, throwing Josh Briggs, who scrapes his legs on the steel steps, taking some big damage there. Chair sent straight to the head of Tony D, who is now able to counter Nico Vance, who is slammed down. Tony D may win it. However, Inamura is there almost instantly, running at the speed of light to break that count. However, with the distraction, Tony D tries to sneak a little sneaky victory. However, once again, the pinfall is broken up. At the beginning of this match, it was the Channing Sex Lorenzo show, and now it is turning into the Tony D'Angelo show, which just shows just how ready they are to become the number 1 contenders, as Tony D with a pinfall. 1, 2, and that does it. 3. Josh Briggs was trying at the very last second to break the count. However, the referee counted 3, and there it is, your new number 1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships. The NXT Tag Team Championships. Representing the family, Channing Sex Lorenzo and Tony D'Angelo. So it is official at NXT No Mercy. And Tank will go ahead and take on the family, Tony D and Channing Sex Lorenzo. Up next, we have some women's singles action. Introducing first, the winner of Season 1 of LFG, Tyra May Steele, is in the building and looking for a victory here tonight. However, her opponent is going to be no easy task. We have had a lot of superstars, specifically over on the female side, who have been inserted in multiple number 1 contenders match without really showing up week in, week out. And I think that when Thea Hale was able to become the number 1 contender for Zoruka's Women's North American Championship, it really sent a message specifically to Lola Vice, who has said, that, quote unquote, not specifically, citing everything she said, but around the words of, I was a bit full of myself. I thought that I could just show up, take a championship, and basically saying she was ready for it. Losing that number 1 contenders match to Thea Hale someone who was showing up almost week in, week out, winning matches, and when she lost, coming back from it and winning afterwards, showed me that I need to humble myself if I want to become a champion. And some beautiful words from Lola Vice as she now looks to start getting involved a little bit more. Same with the likes of Cora Jade and so many others. I know it's so difficult to be able to get in a match every single week, but once you find that trick, once you find that the audience love you and that you can show up every single week and put in that work, it allows you to train and gain experience that the gym won't help you with, that heck, even regular training won't help you with. There is no better training than true action like this, and that is what Lola Vice is looking for as she searches for a title, and hopefully for her, a near future. It is going to be a difficult match for Tyra May Steele, who is coming off of a rough match. I believe she had versus Shotzi, excuse me. A little bluff right there. Shotzi, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe she's lost that match. So it's looking tough for Tyra May Steele. Now she has to face off against Lola Vice. I mean, NXT, I think hands down, has the best women's division in all of wrestling. So it is definitely difficult for Tyra May Steele to go from LFG to now here. It is going to be difficult for her. And, I mean, that just shows the level of talent that we have here in NXT and in this women's division in the WWE overall, which at the end of the day is a good thing for the company, but it is going to be difficult for superstars like Tyra May Steele, who are basically rookies and barely, trying to, put their name out there in order to fans to start chanting her name, in order for her to start growing, etc. She won LFG Season 1 for a reason. All those coaches down there saw something in her, and tonight it is her time to prove it as she looks for the pinfall against Lola Vice. Not able to get anything done. However, I do want to say one thing. Lola Vice hasn't just been sitting at home, just watching NXT and showing up for the number one contenders match. She has been going all out over a AAA. I'm not sure if I said this before. I probably didn't because I was just finding out a couple days ago. But she was balling out over a AAA. I didn't even know. In fact, the fans over there in Mexico, they love her. Them hips don't lie, they hypnotize. Yeah. They love her over there. They chant her name like crazy. So she's still been putting in the work in. But I think she realized that if she wants a title in NXT, you gotta train in NXT. There are different environments that suit you for different titles. If she wants to go for a AAA championship, then sure, continue over there. But it is still important to do things over here on NXT. And at the moment, she is looking like she hasn't skipped a beat. And maybe it was just a lack of confidence to win the number one contenders match. Because just like that, Tyra May Steele has been put away. A big victory for Lola Vice as she searches to maybe one day hold a championship here in NXT. If she keeps working over at AAA, maybe, Fabi Apache, you may have a challenger from NXT coming for your championship quite soon. Big victory for Lola Vice. Congratulations to her. As next up, we have some more singles action in the women's division. Up next, we have the Women's Speed Champion and the NXT Women's North American Champion, Zol Ruka. She has a big match this weekend at NXT No Mercy. She's going to go ahead and face Thea Hale for her NXT North American Championship. She has been incredible when it comes to defending her title, but this time she wants to do something a little bit different. She wants to get one last match in before that big match. She knows that Thea Hale is truly, as much as some people may not agree, I think she knows it. I know it. The biggest threat to her championship reign. Thea Hale, a woman who has been working in week out. As we have been saying, she's been working every single week, getting wins like crazy. It's not about if she's an underdog. Like I said before with Jasmine Nix, it's not about if you're good enough. It's about if you're ready. Thea Hale is both good enough and ready. So, I could see why Zol Ruka wants a little bit more, in-ring work before then. She's going to go ahead and face off Adriana Rizzo, representing the family as well. Zol Ruka on paper should easily be able to get this victory under her belt. And maybe that's just what she needs in order to come out on top of this weekend. She needs not even just some ring work, but maybe just a small confidence booster to say, hey, I'm the champ. Let me prove it one more time before that title match. Maybe if Thea Hale is watching, she kind of, is able to play some mind games, maybe scare Thea Hale a little bit and help herself out by, boosting up her confidence. Sure, that can totally work for Zol Ruka, but don't underestimate Rizzo. She got some work in her, right? So I don't know if it's Rizzo or Rizzo. Don't matter. Whatever. Sue me. As Zol Ruka starting us nice and hot. And Rizzo is moving like crazy too. Gonna quickly respond to Zol Ruka right there. Climbs the middle ropes. Double axe handle. Straight to Zol Ruka. However, quickly Zol Ruka showing exactly why she is a double champ. Both the women's speed champion and the NXT Women's North American champion. Zol Ruka looking to fly. Big clothesline all the way from the air, and she is now finished as she now climbs the middle rope. She's going to look to fly once more. Big damage done right there as she's now going to look quickly for the pinfall. However, a kick out at one by Rizzo as this match continues. Another big splash by Zol Ruka, who may want to end this match nice and quickly. Again, this simply could just be a confidence booster. And it seems like that may be it because she wants to put away this match nice and early. Rizzo trying to kick out, and she does so. Trying to stay alive in this match. Barely doing so. I mean, if I was her personally, but the way Zol Ruka is moving, I would just let myself get being right there and save myself the injuries and the hospital bill, because if Zol Ruka is doing that right now, imagine what she can do in the next 5 minutes. She can do a whole lot more damage to you. You're already beat down. Usually I try to motivate the superstars, but Zol Ruka is moving crazy right now. She wants to be at peak performance for Thea Hale and basically meet up with Thea Hale. Thea Hale is definitely at peak performance. We know Zol Ruka's been great, but she wants to show us that this is not going to be an easy fight for Thea Hale, as hard as she is right now. She's on this winning streak. She's a whatnot, this, and that. Well, guess what? Zol Ruka is a freaking double champion. And she may be able to put this match away now, as Zol Ruka looking to badly timing that. Luckily, she didn't take too much damage, instead slamming down Rizzo. And now this could be the opportunity for her to pull off the Soul Snatcher. Wasn't able to get it done the first time. Will she be able to the second? Yes, she does. Soul Snatcher now looking for the pinfall to win the match. 1, 2, 3, and there it is. Zol Ruka with a huge victory. A huge confidence booster. And this weekend, her biggest match of all, but someone else may want her title. Cora Jade. Zoro Ruka lifts up that title saying, "You want some? Come get some." Cora Jade trying to jump the line. Thea Hale, though, is the woman who has that opportunity to become new champion this weekend. We got Javon Evans. Let's hear him out. "Hey, yo, Shawn Spears, I want to put an end to this once and for all. Come out here and face me one last time. Winner takes all." Whoa, Javon. You seem a little angry. I understand you weren't too happy that you lost our last match, but hey, it's okay. You want to put everything on the line? Let's do it. You win, it goes your way. I win, it goes my way. Perfect, man. That sounds great to me. Let's do this match right here, right now, man. What do you say? Let's do this thing, Javon. And it looks like we have a match underway. All on the line, Shawn Spears versus Javon Evans. Both men have a win over each other. But as we know, the win from Shawn Spears was a bit of a cheating one. It seems as though this match will be the final between them two, at least for now, and at least until another problem occurs between the two. They want to solve this problem that Shawn Spears wants Javon Evans to go to this dark side, to be this bad man, to stop worrying about the WWE Universe, stop worrying about smiling, instead just be how Shawn Spears is, and that will bring you championships. However, Javon is no fan of that. He wants to stay true to his way, and he knows he can bring championships to himself by basically being himself. So as Shawn Spears says, if Javon wins, he'll be able to handle his career his way. However, if Shawn Spears wins, Javon's going to have to handle his career the way that Shawn Spears wants to. It's going to be difficult for Shawn Spears to win this one because he can't really cheat. Nico Vance and Brooks Jensen already had a match. They're tired, and I doubt they'll come out. If they do, I think Javon will be able to take on all three. But who knows? Anything can happen as Javon Evans is going to look to fly. Oh, I thought he did. It kind of tricked me. He does. Last second. Flying out of nowhere, trying to trick Shawn Spears, seeing if he was going to move out the way. He didn't. So then he shots, looking to fly once more. Big splash by Javon Evans. Now we do have some breaking news. The new TNA Women's World Champion Jordynne Grace is going to go ahead and defend her title as Javon Evans hitting an RKO on Shawn Spears straight on the outside of the ring. And yes, as I was saying, Jordynne Grace will defend her brand new Women's TNA Knockouts Championship against quite a surprise, but it's going to be a good match. Piper Niven. Jordynne Grace wanted to defend her championship here tonight. Piper Niven was looking for a match here tonight. They met up in the office by coincidence. They both wanted a match. Piper Niven would not turn down the opportunity at becoming TNA Knockouts World Champion. So it is set for the main event here tonight. Jordynne Grace versus Piper Niven for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. As we continue focusing on this match at the moment, it is Javon Evans in control. Javon Evans with some big damage, sending Shawn Spears flying. Now a pinfall. 1, 2. But a kick out at 2 from Shawn Spears. He is still in this. However, the man who's still in control, maybe not for now, was Javon Evans. However, Shawn Spears may still be in this match. Big knee dropping to the face of Javon Evans. And now what is Shawn Spears looking to do? Big big steps onto the face of Javon Evans, now looking for the pinfall 2. It was only till 1 before Javon Evans would go ahead and kick out. Shawn Spears looking for a finisher there. Instead, he is countered. And instead, it is Javon Evans with a huge stunner. And that is enough to put Shawn Spears away once and for all. That is the end of this rivalry. Javon Evans will be allowed to carry out his career the way that he wants to, being himself. And he will not be following or obeying Shawn Spears and his crooked, wicked ways. Shawn Spears fails to defeat John Evans in 2 separate matches, only beating him by cheating. But this one that mattered the most, Javon Evans comes out on top. He will be able to do things his way. So we're now going to go ahead and hear from Ridge Holland. He has something to say. Let's go ahead and hear him out. Butler James, I'm going to keep this short and simple. I believe that I can definitely beat you for your North American Championship. So how about at NXT No Mercy, you go ahead and put that title on the line. And it looks like he's going to get an instant response. Butler James is here. Let's hear from him now. Ridge Holland, you want a shot at my title? You know what? Fine, I am so confident I'll beat you that this weekend at NXT No Mercy, I'll put my title on the line against you. And I promise you one thing. You won't even get the satisfaction of getting a 2 count on me because I'm going to destroy you. Yeah, we'll see about that. See you this weekend. And it seems as though we have another match confirmed for this weekend. Butler James versus Ridge Holland for the North American Championship, with Butler James adding a little bit of a stimulation or whatever you want to call it. He's saying you won't even hear the 2 count because I am going to tear you apart. Butler James basically saying you're not even going to be able to lay a finger on me. That's pretty much what I am hearing. That is going to be exciting for later this weekend as we have multiple matches confirmed already. But we continue focusing on today as we have the former TNA Knockouts World Champion. She lost her championship to Jordynne Grace, and now she has been having a couple of matches here in NXT as she looks to earn an opportunity not only at a rematch for her TNA Knockouts World Championship, but also an NXT Championship. I mean, she could easily become NXT Women's Champion. I do believe she has the talent to do so. However, Jordynne Grace definitely showed that there are flaws to Masha Slamovich. She lost her title against Jordynne Grace, but with a rematch, she could quickly get her TNA Knockouts World Championship back. And the way she's moving over here at NXT, she can surely be earning herself a NXT Women's Championship, a North American Championship opportunity. Win one of those and hold the title from 2 different promotions, both TNA and WWE. That would be insane. However, her opponent is going to be no easy task. Shotzi, who has been on fire as of late. An absolute beast, showing no mercy inside of the ring. As great as a superstar that Masha Slamovich is, someone as unpredictable as Shotzi is a challenge to anyone, even the best of the best. Shotzi has some aggression, a source of, again, you just can't predict her. I mean, so mysterious yet so out there. It is very weird, but that's what makes Shotzi so good. That before the match even starts, she already has you beat in the mental game. And then you look at the way she's inside of there. Her wrestling IQ and skills are both phenomenal. I mean, she could easily be a future WWE Women's Champion, a World Champion. So do not underestimate Shotzi just because she's facing off against a former TNA Knockouts World Champion. Shotzi has the ability, the capability to not only beat Masha Slamovich here tonight, but like I said, to eventually become a world champion over on the main roster. Vice versa. Masha Slamovich was the TNA Knockouts World Champion before Jordynne Grace held that title for over 230 days, if I'm correct, for a reason. As we now begin this match, after this match, we will be having our main events. As I said earlier, that will be Piper Niven versus Jordynne Grace for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. That will be on the line in our main event still to come. But for now, we focus on this match. Shotzi against Masha Slamovich, the co-main event of the night, and nice and early. It is Masha Slamovich who is starting off hot, doing some big damage onto Shotzi as she now uses the ropes to gain some acceleration. Big kicks onto the stomach of Shotzi. Another, and some more kicks from Masha Slamovich. And she's going to quickly look for the pinfall. Is this enough to push Shotzi away? One. No, it is not, as Shotzi quickly able to kick out at one. Masha Slamovich, however, still in control. Big kick to the face of Shotzi. Masha Slamovich is countered right there. She receives a kick towards her own body. Now, a little bit of a sacrifice. We see our boy Penta doing that over on Monday Night Raw. Shotzi doing it onto Masha Slamovich, almost dislocating the arm of Masha Slamovich. Telling you, this woman, Shotzi, shows no mercy as Masha Slamovich able to move out of the way right there. Nice little clothesline. As now Shotzi goes outside of the ring in order to kind of catch her breath. Goes back in. Big double kick, however. Masha Slamovich able to catch her, slam her down, and boot to the stomach. Double axe handle now. As Shotzi once again losing momentum. And it is Masha Slamovich in control now, returning the favor. Trying to dislocate the arm of Shotzi now. Trying to injure her opponent. Masha Slamovich with a big kick. Shotzi returns with a big smack. And now we have some back and forth action between the two superstars in the ring. Masha Slamovich, Shotzi, who will come out on top in this match? And who will come out on top of this little back and forth? Masha Slamovich. Now Shotzi. Return from Masha Slamovich. Shotzi's shot is blocked. However, Shotzi able to block Sasha's. And now they're both going. And I just call her Sasha even though her name is not Sasha. However, Masha Slamovich able to come out on top. And now she may look to put this match away. Slamming down Shotzi. Masha Slamovich isn't done. She's going to look to put one last nail in the coffin. No. Look at Shotzi. Look at the discipline. Look at that need to want to keep fighting, able to escape that hold. And not only has she been able to escape, she is now on the attack, and we see that satisfaction, the happiness of being able to do that, looking for the pinfall. However, a kick out at two from Masha Slamovich. This match continues. Both women giving it their all. I still do think that Masha Slamovich has had a slight advantage over Shotzi. However, Shotzi can definitely take advantage of this moment right here and be the woman in control. Maybe not, as Masha Slamovich quickly able to switch things around. Big kick to the face of Shotzi. Now dropping her down. Big right hooks straight to the face of Shotzi. Big damage done by Masha Slamovich. Using her legs, her fist, whatever it takes in order to penetrate the body of Shotzi. However, Shotzi looking to return the favor, looking for the pinfall. 1, 2. Oh, but a kick out at 2 from Masha Slamovich. Shotzi could have had the victory there. Unfortunately for her, Masha Slamovich still has gas left in the tank, and it may have been a mistake. I don't even know what was a mistake. However, Masha Slamovich is back in this match, and she may But it's away, slamming down Shotzi once again. Masha Slamovich is not finished yet. She wants to put an end to this. The move she wasn't able to hit just moments ago. Now she is able to hit, however. Masha does not want to risk Shotzi kicking out, so she's going to go for a second. And now Masha Slamovich for the pinfall. Is there any way of Shotzi kicking out? No, there is not. Masha Slamovich wins the match. She continues moving forward. She will surely earn herself a rematch for her TNA Knockouts World Championship soon. And if she keeps moving like this over in NXT, she will surely earn a NXT title opportunity very soon. Congratulations to Masha Slamovich on the victory there. But now it is time for the main event of the night. Introducing first the challenger. She's all coming down from SmackDown, the main roster, but she has been very active down here when it comes to singles action. Also a lot of tag team action alongside her partner Alba Fire. We have Piper Niven. I wouldn't say she's at a disadvantage tonight. However, normally she would be accompanied by Chelsea Green and Alba Fire tonight. She walks out here alone. So while it's not a disadvantage, it leaves things very evened out for her, which usually Piper Niven, the Green regime as a total, do not like. They like to use the numbers game to their advantage. So we'll see how Piper Niven handles having a more evened out match. As Piper Niven seems hyped up. Not only does she want a match here tonight, she got a little cherry on top by having it be a championship match. I mean, imagine if Piper Niven able to defeat the newly crowned TNA Knockouts World Champion in Jordynne Grace. Because that's who we're going to introduce next, the champion. She was able to become a 4-time TNA Knockouts World Champion not too long ago, as she was able to defeat Masha Slamovich. And now here tonight, she looks to successfully defend her title in the main event of Tuesday Night NXT. Just to remind you guys that this isn't no PLE. We have these fantastic title matches on a weekly basis. So make sure you guys continue to tune in. Just how you guys should tune in tomorrow night, Wednesday Night Evolve. And that's to come later in the week as Jordynne Grace, Piper Niven, now both inside of the ring. Jordynne Grace looking to successfully defend her TNA Knockouts World Championship. If I'm not wrong, I have very bad memory. This is her first title defense in this reign. Imagine she loses it right away. That would be a huge bummer. So I'm sure she's going to give it, not even 100%, 200% to make sure she doesn't lose in this first title defense. It is going to be a difficult match as her opponent, Piper Niven, is no joke, is no woman to take lightly. She is a powerhouse, a tank, a beast. Then again, Jordynne Grace is the TNA Knockouts World Champion for a reason. She was able to defeat the insane superstar that is Masha Slamovich for a reason. So we are set for a fantastic match here tonight in our main event. The referee takes that title. He's going to go ahead and show us what is at stake, what is on the line here tonight. Jordynne Grace versus Piper Niven. TNA Knockouts World Championship on the line. Who will come out on top as the referee rings the bell? Will we have a new champion? Or will Jordynne Grace be successful in retaining and successfully defending her championship? We'll find out in just a few moments as this match has now begun. And Jordynne Grace is starting off hot as she looks to pick up Piper Niven nice and early into this match, showing her strength Big damage done right there. She's now going to quickly look for the pinfall. Don't think she'll beat Piper Niven there. She doesn't. Just kind of trying to waste Piper Niven's energy nice and early. You slam her down, get the air out of her, and then force her to kick out. You do that a couple of times, it is eventually going to work and allow you to get a 3 count, especially if in between you're beating the crap out of your opponent. It is surely bound to work. Jordynne Grace celebrating with the fans. She's taking this moment in as she now waits for Piper Niven to get up. Who slowly does. Piper Niven is set into the turnbuckle. Drops down. Double axe handle now by Jordynne Grace. As a reminder, we have NXT No Mercy this weekend. Make sure you guys tune in. We already had the 2-night events of SummerSlam. We had the main roster. We allowed them to have their fun. We allowed them to crown new champions, to defend their titles, to end rivalries, start new ones, etc. Now it is time for NXT to have their PLE, and it is time for NXT superstars to now have their fun. And I was just talking about a couple moments ago, WWE Evolve. Surely one of these NXT PLEs we could see either or both the men's and women's Evolve championships on the line on an NXT PLE. As we know, Evolve doesn't have any premium live events. They don't have any premium events, just the weekly, as Jordynne Grace looking for the pinfall. Quick kick out right there. Doesn't have any of that. So, well, yes, they could make their own. You want to start bringing some eyes towards Evolve. Go towards Big Brother, Big Sister, NXT, and say, yo, let me, allow to defend my championship, one of your PLEs, and you bring some eyes to those insane superstars because they have the talent, they have the level. It just takes a little bit hold on. Piper Niven may be able to win the match right here. Jordynne Grace able to kick out at 2. Piper Niven was almost a new TNA Knockouts World Champion. We saw it for a slight second. Jordynne Grace almost losing the match, but unfortunately for Piper Niven, Jordynne Grace was able to kick out at the very last second. And now it is Jordynne Grace who's going to look for the pinfall 2. No, only a kick out at 1. But as I was saying, the Evolve superstars have the talent. It's just about them learning how to keep it at a how to keep their level at a very consistent high level. The way that the main roster needs to be, the way that NXT needs to be, right? It's just about perfecting or getting as close to perfect with their talent. The skill is there. It's just about maintaining that high level over and over again. As Piper Niven is getting beat up outside of the ring, Jordynne Grace is going to go ahead and pick up Piper Niven and slam her down. Piper Niven taking some huge damage there. And now Jordynne Grace connecting with the fans. The referee's count is now at 7. Jordynne Grace can win by countouts. On the other hand, Piper Niven is forced to win by pinfall or submission. Looked like Jordynne Grace was trying to reset the count right there. Nevertheless, Piper Niven was about to get inside of the ring. She now steps outside, takes a little moment to, mess with the fans a little bit. However, she is quickly met by 2 big elbows from Jordynne Grace. A pinfall now is Jordynne Grace looking to retain her championship. Piper Niven able to kick out, though. Jordynne Grace going to have to do a lot more if she wants to put away the beast of Piper Niven. However, she is definitely, making those cracks within Piper Niven a lot larger by beating the crap out of her. However, Piper Niven surely doesn't like that. She's looking to return the favor. Slamming down Jordynne Grace, and now Piper Niven picks up and slams Jordynne Grace repetitively. Now damaging the right arm of Jordynne Grace. It is time for Piper Niven to shine big knee to the face of Jordynne Grace, who now has to use the ropes as support to get up. Piper Niven! Oh my days! A big smack. I could hear that all the way from Mars. Big damage being done to Jordynne Grace at the moment. However, Jordynne Grace may be able to counter. Now, no, Piper Niven denying that finisher, and instead she's going to look for the pinfall. Kick out before even one from Jordynne Grace, showing she has a lot of gas left in the tank. Piper Niven trying to look for a finish, not able to get it done as Jordynne Grace able to move out of the way. However, Piper Niven still on the attack. Big elbow to the face of Jordynne Grace right there. Jordynne this time able to counter now, dropping Piper Niven. Jordynne Grace now stands tall inside of the ring as Piper Niven had to roll out in order to catch her breath. She is having some serious pain on her lower body, legs, stomach, back, and maybe even her head as she grabs it there. Referee telling Piper Niven to get in before she loses to countouts, and she does, quickly met by a clothesline from Jordynne Grace. And now Jordynne Grace may look to put this match away once and for all, as Jordynne Grace is going to go ahead and pick up and slam down Piper Niven. However, Jordynne Grace is not done. She wants to put one last punch, one last slam in the body of Piper Niven. There it is as she looks for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3, and just like that, Jordynne Grace is still your TNA Knockouts World Champion. Piper Niven had a heck of a match, but it was not enough to put the TNA Knockouts World Champion away, and just like that, Jordynne Grace retains her championship, successfully defending it for the first time in this reign. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys on Wednesday night Evolve. Have a great rest of your nights. Congratulations to Jordynne Grace.